Okay, I'm going to call to order the Columbia Heights Public Schools August 8th, 2023 school board meeting. Can we please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Mary, could you please do the roll?
Happy to. Palmer,
Here.
Granlund, here. Medeiros,
Here.
Petway,
Here.
Hool,
Here.
Mueller. Superintendent Stenvick.
Here. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, next up is our mission statement, creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner. All belong, all succeed, and our core values of community, excellence, collaboration, integrity, respect, courage, and innovation. Next up is the agenda approval, adjustments, and announcements. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Julie. A second?
Second.
Second by Jessica. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion carries. Next up is our announcements. August 15th, Tuesday at 5:30, we'll have the school board work session here in the community room. August 22nd, Tuesday, 5 p.m., a subcommittee on policy, also here in the community room. Also on August 22nd at 7 p.m., our regular school board meeting, also here in the community room. On September 4th, we're going to have a holiday. The district will be closed, and Tuesday, September 5th, will be our first day of school. Then following that up, the following Tuesday at 7 p.m., we will have our regular school board meeting here in the community room. Next up is communication to the board. At this time, any citizen or employee may briefly address the school board. The board will listen to the brief remarks, ask clarifying questions, and if desired, request that the administration follow up. The board will not take action at this meeting on requests presented at this time, and time will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Do we have anybody to speak to the board? Does not look like it. It is a very quiet evening this evening. So moving on. Next up is our consent agenda, which consists of the personnel report, the school board minutes from July 18th and July 18th special called meeting, the treasurer report for June of 2023, as well as the Association of Metropolitan School Districts membership. So they have been spoken about at previous meetings, and I'm not entirely sure what those dates were. Would I be able to get that information?
I believe at the last board meeting.
It was the last board meeting?
July 18th.
Oh, July 18th, okay. All right, can I get a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Thank you, Mary. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Michelle. Any discussion? Okay, all right. So moving forward, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion's moved forward. Thank you. Next up is the acknowledgement of contributions. So we get to listen to me read this. Okay, all right. Now, I read this and then move this forward. I'm getting confused here. This is my third school board meeting to run, so bear with me here. You're getting the B team tonight. Okay.
Great.
Do I move this forward and then read it?
I think you read it
Read it
and then move it.
Okay, read it and then move forward. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this will be the acknowledgement of contributions resolution. Whereas Minnesota Statute 123B.02 permits school boards to receive for the benefit of the district bequests, donations, or gifts for any proper purpose and apply the same to the purpose designated. In that behalf, the board may act as trustee of any trust created for the benefit of the district and for the benefit of pupils thereof. Therefore, be it resolved by the School Board of Columbia Heights Public Schools, Independent School District Number 13, that the school board accepts with appreciation the contributions detailed in the background in the amount of $7,736.62. So our monetary, we had a donation of $236.62 was made to Columbia Heights School District by Suzanne Vecchio. A donation of $7,500 was made to the Columbia Heights School District by Columbia Heights Public Library Foundation for Decodable Books. So total fiscal year 2023 to 2024 monetary contributions to date are $7,736.62. Can I get a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right. Any discussion? Mary?
I just want to take a second and thank these wonderful people for getting us off to a really strong start. Especially thanks to the Public Library Foundation for books, considering literacy continues to be one of the goals for our district. I think it's fantastic, and I'm really excited. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right. As always, we appreciate all the dedication that our community has to our students in our school district, and we're very much appreciative. So, anyway, having had discussion, can we go ahead and vote on this? All right. We will need a roll call vote. Mary?
Mueller, Palmer,
Aye.
Granlund, aye. Maderas,
Aye.
Petway,
Aye.
Hool.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, so next up on the agenda is our discussion reports information items. And number one will be the reports from the members of the board. So we'll be speaking about board activities since our last regularly scheduled meeting. Julie, would you like to start us out?
Sure. I attended the MSBA training, it was the webinar on the legislative updates, which impacted policy, and so that was really interesting. And since I'm on the policy committee, there's a lot of changes coming down, and so that was my main thing that I did during that period. I also reviewed the June expenses, which I've submitted to management for getting a meeting together with Superintendent Stenvik to go over those.
All right, thank you. Michelle?
Hello. Since our last meeting, I attended the mayor's Monarch Pledge presentation that was held over in Columbia Heights Public Library. It was very informative. My daughter's in love with Monarch Butterfly. She has been for as long as I can remember. And it's really a passion of hers, and she kind of has me into it as well. So we will be attending also the Monarch Festival, which is tomorrow. So that'll be really nice. And I also attended a BIPOC elected leaders meeting, which is very useful to me. I feel like I get a lot of help there from different elected officials around the state, actually, in different cities. They're mostly council members, so they're not school board level, but it really helps to get that perspective sometimes and help from people. So that was a lot of help for me. And I've had, I attended the MSBA Summer Leadership workshop that they had, seminar they had this week. It was very, very amazing. The focus was on literacy and the science of literacy. It was a lot of fun. It was more fun than I thought it was going to be. By the end, I didn't want it to be over because we spent a lot of time with, and I'm going to say his last name wrong, so Mary, please help me, but it's Eric
Littman.
Litwig. Right, okay.
Yep,
I was going to say it wrong.
I said it wrong too.
He's the author of Pete the Cat books and other things. So he had us singing and dancing, and we looked very silly, but we felt great. It was a focus on how to engage our children and get them to read better. So it was actually great to see how educators might be able to, better help our children read more. So that was very nice, among other things like the Read impact and other things that are coming up for us. And I've had conversations with Member Granlin, Superintendent Stenvik. I got to meet Stephanie today, so that was awesome. And just working on campaign things because it's time. Sorry, that was a lot.
Thank you. No, that's great. Usually I'm the one that rambles on, so this is
Yeah.
really nice. So, thank you. Jessica?
Sure. So I also attended the MSBA webinars on legislative session updates. So there are actually 2 webinars. As Julie mentioned, there's one on legislative impact and then one specific to school finance changes. And those were recorded, so I'm looking forward to also revisiting those as we start the school year off, because as Julie indicated, there's going to be lots of changes that we're going to need to incorporate, and we can't do it all at once. So I'm going to bookmark that as a refresher for myself. But it was really well done in terms of summarizing each of the changes. Additionally, I had the opportunity to attend the 2-day annual conference of the Minnesota Concurrent Enrollment Partnerships Consortium. And that was just a really wonderful opportunity to hear from both post-secondary partners as well as secondary institutions that are participating in concurrent enrollment. So for those who may be watching that aren't familiar with that program, we have a very robust concurrent enrollment program in our district, which is a dual enrollment option for high school students, where they take courses at our high school and receive both high school and college credit. And so there are partnerships between many colleges throughout the state and high schools. And so the conference for me really, renewed my sense of, pride for the really strong partnerships that we have around concurrent enrollment, dual enrollment programs in our district. And to just sort of be able to hear from both secondary and post-secondary partners about challenges they're facing and opportunities that maybe we have to move forward together. So the highlight for me was that they had a panel on advocating for dual enrollment that was presented by a representative from the Minnesota Department of Education and the Midwest Higher Education Compact. So that gave me a lot of energy around dual enrollment moving into the fall. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mary?
Okay, so it has been a long time since we last met, and it's summer and lots of things are happening, so I have a lot to report. Since our last board meeting, I was able to attend a planning session for the levy that we have coming up. So it was a small group to try and figure out where we're going to start things, so more to come about that. I also attended a Columbia Heights City Council meeting just to hear a little bit more about what's going on in our community. I also, as Michelle had noted, I also attended the MSBA training on the science of literacy, which included a lot of really great information about emerging, old but new research, learning different ways that we're going to get support as a board from the state, learning the ways that they are already sort of starting to support, and then also figuring out how are we going to continue to use this research to move forward in our literacy goals. Also, the author of Pete the Cat books was amazing. It was really life-changing. He was super great, a lot better than I would have thought. They had a lot of breakout sessions that were really helpful, talking about things that are happening sort of around the state and nation a little bit. So we also talked about the how the MCA scores and those other statewide tests are used. I had a conversation with the presenter at the end of it, and I'm hoping to schedule a time to connect with her to hear a little bit more about that. On that same front, I applied to be considered for the MCA Review Board, which should surprise nobody in this room or anybody watching. I have also, attended the garden party last week at our sister garden site here in Columbia Heights. It was fantastic. A lot of community organizations were there. Heights Next, the sister cities, folks were there, Kiwanis and Rotary Club. It was a really great night of just being together in forageable garden. I am attending a policy feedback through AMSD session on Thursday morning, so I can get a little bit more information about that. I also volunteered in the CI library, and I talked a lot with staff, families, and students, Superintendent Stenvik, Member Medeiros, and Member Petway. So I think that's it. It's a lot.
All right. Well, I was going back and forth to Missouri, so I actually didn't get to do a lot of these great things, but I'm glad you all participated, and I look forward to your sharing everything that you've learned. Other than that, I do actually want to introduce Stephanie Alvarez. She is our new board secretary. We are so happy to have you here.
Yes.
Welcome. This is your very first meeting, and I put you totally on the spot, so congratulations. I got to do it. All right.
You're going to turn the camera over to you now.
Yeah, so, welcome.
Yeah.
All right. I attended also the 916 board meeting last week, and I actually got to chair that meeting as well, so yay. So I had a little primer for this evening. So a lot of the stuff that we talked about there were, about basically the legislature, a lot of legislature stuff, and how that's going to impact. And I will say that they've done a really good job. The intermediates have done a really good job of making sure that whenever policy and funding and different mandates are put into place, that the legislatures are now actually including the intermediate districts in the new laws and legislation, which is good because there have been times where they would make a rule that the intermediates had to comply with, but they literally had no mechanism for complying because they were not included in the other. It's mostly a funding thing, but so they've really gotten a lot of that stuff taken care of, and more to come. I know we're going to be getting more analysis on the impact of the unemployment and how that's going to affect the district, because that was funded this year, but it will not be funded in further years. So anyway, so that's it for, and I had the chair meeting just prior to this meeting here. And then Superintendent Stenvik.
Thank you. Although I believe there are still 4 weeks left of summer, technically, we have been very busy around here in the district center. The placement center is very busy enrolling students. Our summer childcare programs are very active, and all of our staff who manage different programs are gearing up for the new school year. In the last 2 weeks, I've been able to attend a couple of very important conferences and gain deeper insights on or as to the many legislative changes that many of you spoke about that will be impacting our district. This week, the district admin team is meeting on Thursday and Friday, and we will be reviewing some of those legislative impacts and really tweaking some of our systems to ensure that we are in compliance. So just some of the examples of what folks are talking about here at the board table tonight are non-exclusionary discipline, naloxone doses, paraprofessional training, many, many others, and my favorite is the READ Act right now. Also, in order to more accurately route our buses this school year, we are asking families to sign up and let us know if they plan on utilizing our transportation services. We have been monitoring the responses to that survey, and we actually have more responses to the survey than students who rode the bus last year. So we have robust responses.
Good.
So that information is really helpful in in allowing us to accurately route buses and not have buses that are too full or too empty. So I just wanted to thank everybody who's responded to that, and we'll continue. It's the first time we're doing that, so we will continue to support families as they come back to school and need help with that. This month, we do have 3 meetings scheduled for negotiations with our Local 710, and so I will be periodically updating the school board about that process. And since our last board meeting, I communicated with Chair Mueller, Vice Chair Palmer, Member Petway, Member Granlund, and I thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so next up is the Bright Work, which is formerly Metro Exu membership. And Tara, are we here?
She's here.
All right.
There we go. Good evening, Vice Chair Mueller, members of the board, and Superintendent Stenvick. I'm here tonight as an informational item to share about the BrightWorks membership. And we'll be coming back, or we'll be showing up again in governance to ask to renew the membership with BrightWorks. Our mission in Columbia Heights Public Schools is creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner. All belong, all succeed, and really focusing in with us on excellence and innovation with the support that they provide. Our core values in Columbia Heights are aligned with the Columbia Heights Public Schools Board of Education Equity Statement. And as mentioned, I'm here tonight as an information item, and it will show up again as an action item in the consent agenda on August 22nd. BrightWorks, we've been coming to the board quite a few years, but the name has changed. BrightWorks was formerly known as Metro EXU. It's a collaborative of many different districts coming together, and their purpose really is to help reduce costs and provide services. So some of the services that they provide for educators and for our district include professional development opportunities, professional networks, so different positions. Some districts have one of a position or two. We're able to connect with other districts and have a network, a professional network, to support each other. Support for student services and special education. Some of those specialized areas that are harder to find either professional development or support around, they're able to support us with that. The Praxis Para Pro assessment. SparkPath, which when it was Metro EXU was known as Success Beyond the Classroom, are programs for students, and many different publications. Our numbers last year participation in the different areas are as follows. These have definitely bounced up more from the last couple of years, as with the pandemic, many of the programs were canceled or low enrollment, or we weren't able to participate at that time. So now the numbers are starting to come back up, and the programming is starting to become more robust with those numbers. And some of the big ones that you'll see on this list are our student programming. So Knowledge Bowl is coming through there, Creativity Festival, a Young Authors Conference our students are able to participate in. They have science opportunities that we've been able to as well. So it's been wonderful to allow our students to participate and join other districts. And the program really has been high quality and supplements the instruction happening in the classroom. We also have participated in environmental health and safety programs, the paraeducator courses and assessment they support with, and positive behavior interventions and support. As we look forward to next year, looking at what their offerings are again, we're hoping to continue many of the areas that we have participated in, including the professional development and networks. Some of their networks in the past are starting to come back again. They had an affinity network where our affinity group, our teachers are able to join other affinity groups and meet together, which is wonderful. The student enrichment opportunities through the SparkPath, they're increasing the offerings. So we're excited to open that up to even more students. And then some of the other pieces are the special education programs, the resources they provide, and the library of resources they have, and then the cooperative purchasing that we're able to take part in. The membership fee for next school year has gone up a little as costs of different programs they've incurred more costs on them. And so the price went up to $1,200 for a flat rate plus $1.20. So our estimated fee for Columbia Heights for next school year is $5,133.60. And looking at the programs that we participated in and the ones that we're looking towards next year, it definitely is a wonderful value for our students and supports a lot of the programs and the needs that we have to bring our students together with others, as well as supporting our staff for the professional development and the Praxis Pro. So I'm here tonight as an information item, and it will be coming back again as an action item in the consent agenda on August 22nd, seeking approval of the membership to BrightWorks for the 2023-2024 school year.
Thank you. Any questions, Mary?
Thank you so much for that, Tara. I have already shared this with Superintendent Stenvick, but I think one of the other pieces from this collaboration is the networking opportunities for our superintendent and for our schools and how that works. Yesterday, multiple people came up and told me how fantastic it was that they have been working with Superintendent Stenvick on the board, and how much they really appreciate what she brings. And I think that is both a testament to her and the wonderful work that she does in representing our community, not only here at this table and within our school district, but also abroad, to a larger area. So I think I wanted to make sure that I called that out. So thank you.
Anybody else? Jessica?
Yes, I'm wondering if you can elaborate a little bit on what support, I'm forgetting now, they're not Exio anymore, Brightworks. What support Brightworks provides for special education programs?
Yes, thank you. Good question. They gave us a list of the programs that they were provided or supported with. Some of it included professional development around some of the certain areas such as speech or autism. Some of the other pieces included services that they were able to provide or resources. So it wasn't, from the list of it, it wasn't direct services to the students. It was through the
Right.
educators that they were able to support with.
Okay, thank you. And then I guess similarly, some of the student enrichment opportunities are named in the attendance from last year, participation from last year. But I guess, could you just tell us generally a little bit about Spark Path and what their goals are?
Yes. SparkPath, their hope is to expand opportunities by bringing the districts together. So some of the opportunities that they have would include supporting our students who have gifted or are labeled as gifted in our elite program. They're able to support with that. They're able to support some of our after school programming like Knowledge Bowl. In the past, they had other programs too. They really have been supportive in meeting with us and finding out what we're interested in and bringing districts together. So it changes and they come out in the fall here with different programs coming up that we send out to all teachers. And then they also respond to the needs of our district. So as we come up into the fall, they'll be providing us with the ones that are coming up for this school year.
Great, thank you. I guess just a comment if I could, or, yeah? Okay. I just wanted to say that I'm in support of renewing our membership with Brightworks. I think that they offer a real diversity of resources from, as you said, professional development, student opportunities. And I just wanted to note that, one piece of this that may not be quite as exciting on the surface is around cooperative purchasing. And knowing that we have the opportunity to leverage our purchasing power as member districts to be able to lower the cost for different services that we might need in our own district. So across the board, I think leveraging that cooperation works well for us, but when it comes to things like purchasing that don't always get a whole lot of attention, it's another way that we're able to fulfill our needs as a district and to do so as responsibly as possible. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Julie, I'll get you in a minute. But Zena, did you have something you wanted to add?
Thank you. I was just going to elaborate on a brand new initiative that Brightworks is working on, and I only know this because I do serve on the board, is that they're helping people get special education teachers' licenses. So that's a brand new initiative, and our Director of Special Education is connected with their Director of Special Education and seeing how we can help in that area, or how they can help us in that area.
Thank you. I appreciate that clarification because that was underlying some of my question, just knowing what some of the things the state is having to work through now related to special education and licensure. So that's helpful to know that they're a partner in that.
Yeah. Additionally, things like assistive technology. So, for example, we have a very low incidence of a student who's, let's say, blind, for example. And so a school district might not have the technology on hand, but through this collaborative, they're able to get that technology for us when we need it. Things like that.
Great, thank you.
Julie?
I just wanted to make a comment. Looking at the number of participants per these, we're talking about 100 people at $5,000. It's, pretty cheap, actually, for that kind of service. So I just wanted to point that out.
All right. And just one more comment too, and we've actually had very, very high participation for many, many years. These numbers are actually quite a bit lower than I've seen in the past. So it is good to see that they're coming back up again, and we really do want to maximize our membership and our membership opportunities. That's why we have them, So I'm really glad to see that we're really and especially with the new licensures and things like that. We can't do without that assessment to be able to get qualified staff in. So, all right, well, thank you. I guess that's that. All right, so, and I don't see anything under action items?
Not this time.
No, not this time. Okay,
That's a-
all right.
This is a great, meeting for you,
I know.
Vice Chair
know.
Palmer.
I know. So, board topics.
I have something.
Yes, you do.
So it may not be like a school district, but it's community, right? But I really wanted to highlight a positive thing I saw today on one of the community pages where I saw everyone come together to help a fellow resident mow her lawn. She's homebound. And shout out to Ed Higgins, who got a crew together. Heights Pizza Man donated pizza. They made a real thing of it, and they're even talking about making it a monthly thing to help her out. And I just thought that was just amazing. And I just think that, like, we're just all so close, and I just think it's special, and it's important to highlight those positive moments that, that are there. And it was just amazing to see everybody come together for someone who asked for help, and knowing that she could get that from the people around her, and they weren't trying to get anything out of it. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
Any others?
I'm not quite to there yet. I'm holding it. I'm going to savor that moment. Okay?
She'll do it in
All
her
right.
fourth meeting.
Right, yeah, I'm just going to savor that moment. Hold on a moment here. Okay, Michelle, you had mentioned earlier the Monarch Festival.
I
What
did.
time does that start, and where is that going to be located?
That is,
It's
In
Start with
Cordiac
technology.
Park.
I was gonna say the park name wrong because I'm still learning all of my parks because we're a small city, but my goodness, we have a lot of parks. So yes, Cordiac Park, and it starts at 4:30 and it goes until 8:30. It looks like a bundle of fun, actually. And you can find it online. I believe that it is on the city's website. But it just looks like it's going to be a great deal. It's bilingual, so Spanish and English speaking. And they do have translators and people who will be there to help all of the residents. I'll be there volunteering with my daughter, so we'll definitely be giving a hand and learning as well as we go. So yeah, sounds like a good time.
Thank you.
The rec department's Puppet Wagon will also be there and performing. So anybody likes
awesome.
puppetry, yeah.
Okay,
It's an event. Come out, people.
I get to say it now. Any other?
Yes. I am very excited because one thing that a lot of times, I know, like, woo, a lot of times what we end up talking about here at the board table is stuff that impacts our littlest learners in our community. One thing that we don't talk about is our adult enrichment that we do. So I am delighted to be able to attend the play tomorrow with some of our community members. So we're gonna go see Into the Woods. Yep. I was like gonna say Out of the Woods, and I'm like, that's not right. But yes, Into the Woods. So I'm very excited to be able to join and do that tomorrow. So I will have.
Which is an amazing musical, my goodness.
Oh, I'm just so excited. I love plays. So arts are in our hearts.
All right. Any other?
Triple down.
It is the little.
I'm going to try here. Okay,
She's
all
like, I'm gonna
right.
get us to at least 70.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I guess I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Not happening. Okay. We're adjourning. Thank you.